I adore my wife more than words can describe. Emily is the kind of woman who lights up a room with her smile and has a heart big enough to hold the whole world. We've been married for 8 years, and from the outside looking in, everything seems perfect. But there's a side of me that Emily doesn't know. An uncontrollable urge to chase the thrill of new romance. 2 years into our marriage, the itch to explore outside the confines of my vows grew too strong to resist. At first, it was just flirtations, innocent, or so I told myself. Then it escalated. The excitement of sneaking around, the adrenaline rush of a secret rendezvous, it became an addiction. To date, I've had affairs with 14 women, all while hiding behind the mask of a devoted husband. One of these women was Rachel. She was married too, and perhaps that's what drew me to her. Our shared secret, the mutual understanding of what we were risking. It started out like all the others. Stolen glances, lingering touches, whispered words that no one else was meant to hear. But Rachel was different. She was bold and adventurous, willing to meet me in the most daring of places, to do things that left me breathless. 3 months into our affair, I received a text from Rachel asking me to meet her at a hotel across town. The message was different from her usual flirty tone. It seemed more urgent, almost desperate. I didn't think much of it, chalking it up to the thrill of our next encounter. As I walked into the dimly lit hotel room, expecting to see Rachel, I was greeted by silence. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind me, and I turned to see not Rachel, but her husband, Mark. He had a look in his eyes that sent a chill down my spine. Before I could react, 2 men grabbed me from behind and shoved me into a chair. The next thing I knew, I was blindfolded, my heart pounding in my chest. "Do you know who I am?" Mark's voice was low, threatening. "Do you know what you've done?" I tried to apologize, to explain that it wasn't personal, that it was just a mistake. But my words fell on deaf ears. The blindfold was yanked off, and I was met with the cold, steely glares of 4 soldiers. They were dressed in fatigues, muscles taut and ready for action. Mark nodded at them, and that's when the beating started. They weren't gentle. Every punch, every kick felt like it was meant to teach me a lesson. Pain exploded in every part of my body, and I could feel the warm trickle of blood from my nose. I don't know how long it lasted. It felt like hours, but it could have been minutes. When they finally stopped, I was left in a crumpled heap on the floor, gasping for breath. Mark crouched down beside me, his face inches from mine. "This is just the beginning," he hissed. "Stay away from my wife, or next time it won't just be a beating." As they dragged me out of the room and dumped me in an alleyway behind the hotel, I tried to gather my thoughts. I wanted to be angry at Rachel for being careless, for putting us both in danger, but all I could think about was how close I had come to losing everything. That night, as I lay in a hospital bed, nursing my injuries, Rachel called me. Her voice was trembling with guilt and fear. She apologized over and over, saying she never meant for this to happen, that she still wanted to be with me. I listened in silence, my emotions a tangled mess. Part of me wanted to forgive her, to hold on to the thrill we had shared. Another part of me knew this was a wake-up call, a chance to walk away from the path of destruction I was on. But addiction is a powerful thing. Despite everything, despite the warnings, the pain, the fear, I found myself agreeing to meet Rachel again. We were reckless, stupid, thinking we could outsmart fate. We continued our affair in secret, each meeting more dangerous than the last, each kiss more intoxicating. It's been 6 months since the beating, and I'm still seeing Rachel. I'm still seeing other women too. Every day is a game of cat and mouse, a balancing act between my double life and the life I share with Emily. I know it's only a matter of time before my lies catch up to me, before the fragile world I've built comes crashing down. But for now, I live in the thrill of the moment, dancing on the razor's edge, knowing that the fall will be devastating, but unable to stop myself from taking that next step.